Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Tamur, and this is my channel, The Cloud Security Guy. So today's video is just a quick announcement. I've launched a new course on Udemy on social engineering with generative AI. Gen AI has been such a hot topic, and a lot of people are concerned about the security risks. I have other courses there, but I wanted to make one specifically on social engineering. Phishing, voice phishing, deep fakes, those sort of attacks which are becoming very, very popular. So this course is about those sort of new attacks which are coming out and what you can do about it. I'm going to put like a free preview, and in the comment section, you should be able to find a coupon which you can use to get the course for free. Please don't wait too much because the coupon goes very fast. And then people tell me that they can't get into the course for free and they don't like it. So please try to avail the coupon as quickly as possible. And do check out this course. If you like it, then do leave me a review. Thank you very much, and let me know what you think about this course. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my new course, which is Social Engineering with Generative AI, how to protect yourself against generative AI social engineering attacks. My name is Tamur Ijlal, and I'm going to be your instructor for this course. Now, what's this course about? We are at a tipping point when it comes with regards to technology because of the whole AI thing, generative AI. Unless you've been like completely cut off from the internet for the past like for 3 or 4 years, you would have heard about AI and specifically generative AI. ChatGPT was like a major milestone when it comes to technology, and it brought about major changes. And not all of those changes were good, unfortunately. Things like social engineering and scams, they also got a major boost along with everything else because of generative AI. And that is the whole point of this course. We're going to talk about how social engineering has changed in the AI age and how to protect yourself against generative AI social engineering attacks. So, at a high level, what am I going to be talking about? What's the agenda for this course? We're going to go over, have an overview of generative AI, social engineering attacks, how the threat landscape is changing, like what's changed from before, right? And what are the security controls we can use to mitigate these new types of attacks which are coming out, and how to create a program. So it's not just about putting in controls, right? You need to have a holistic program around these controls to make sure that they go like these controls are maintained and managed and improved over time. It's not like a plug and play and put it something in and forget about it, okay, for the next like 5 or 6 years. You need to have a proper program, a framework around it. So that's what are we going to be talking about in this course. And who is this course for? Like, who did I make this course for when I talked about Gen AI social engineering? So this course at a high level is for cybersecurity professionals, obviously, CISOs, if you're at the leadership level, chief technology officers, chief risk officers, risk management, anti-fraud professionals, AI professionals, and honestly, anybody who's interested in a topic of generative AI and what are the good and bad ways it can be applied, right? You do not have to be like a tech wizard for understanding this course, but basically anyone who is interested, you're free to take this course and benefit from it. What are the prerequisites? You just need to have a basic knowledge of technology and risk and controls, a passion to learn, of course, and a deep knowledge of AI is definitely not needed. You do not need to know how the statistical mathematical models behind generative AI work. You don't need to know what are the how to write malware or in Python or something like that. No, please, any of those principles, they are much better courses than mine. You can go take those. This course is about understanding how social engineering is changing and what are the key controls you can put it. Technology is not important as much as it is important understanding what these attacks are and what you can do, what are the security frameworks you can put in, what are the controls you can put in to make sure your company is protected, your organization is protected against these new generation of attacks which are coming out. And who like about me, this is my favorite section. I'm just kidding, but yeah. But in case you're wondering, who am I? Why should you be listening to me? My name is Tamur Ijlal. I am a multi-award-winning cybersecurity leader. I've been a speaker and instructor for many years. I'm also a cybersecurity career coach. I have a small YouTube channel called The Cloud Security Guy, and I'm also a best-selling author and course creator. I love writing books and creating courses. Honestly, along with my 9 to 5 job, this is how I enjoy most, by giving back to the community and hoping that people benefit from understanding about AI and cybersecurity. These are just a few of the books I've written. One is on AI governance, cybersecurity, zero trust. I have on cloud computing, um, cybersecurity certifications, and all. I have a newsletter. I'm there on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X. I'll put all this links. So happy to reach out. If you want to reach out and connect with me, please do so. I have no issue. I always love listening from the students who've taken my courses. And now that we have like a basic background about me and what this course is, why should you care? That's a very good question, right? Why is this topic of Gen AI, social engineering so important? Well, Gen AI was like a game changer, right? It changed everything when it comes to risk and security, not just risk and security, pretty much everything, right? The potential is so massive. It brought along a massive boost to productivity. ChatGPT was like the most popular application in the history of the internet, if I recall. And you could access data, access so much information just through simple natural language, right? You could automate tasks through the ChatGPT AI, the OpenAI API. You could, like, from the security perspective, you can actually analyze data and predict using generative AI, and it lowered the bar of entry. Suddenly, you didn't need to be like a expert on SQL, an expert on all the low level AI things. AI became so commonplace because it became generalized, right? Anybody could access it. That was the beauty of ChatGPT and the further generative AI applications that came along after it. But these are the good things, right? And for every good thing, there's a flip side. It was also a game changer in the wrong way. New threats started coming out. So when it comes to social engineering, and I'm going to dive deep into all these topics. Sorry, not just ChatGPT, generative AI, it boosted existing attacks. So what happened was existing attacks have evolved, they have improved, they have completely changed because of generative AI, and new attacks have come out. Things like deepfake scams, disinformation, AI-powered voice cloning. Right? We also had things like mutating malware. In case you were not aware, they also discovered a malware that could evade industry-leading solutions because it was able to utilize generative AI to keep changing its signature, right? And like I said, it lowered the bar for entry. That's also a bad thing because now people who don't even know that much about cybercrime or technical details, they can actually come in and start like messing around and creating malware because of the lowered bar of entry. So this is why it's so important. And the most important thing which I see, and that is one of the reasons I've made this course. Security programs have not caught up with generative AI. Most of the security awareness programs I see in companies, they're still worrying about email-based phishing. Make sure you don't see the typos and email spoofing, and those attacks are still there. Please don't get me wrong, but the world has changed, and there's a huge lack of awareness around Gen AI social engineering attacks, or there is awareness. A lot of people I talk to about, like, they are aware, but they overemphasize security tooling and solutions. They don't understand how these attacks are working. They just think I'm going to buy a costly solution from a vendor, implement it, and that's it, I'm completely safe. And that it does not work like that, right? You need to understand what GenAI is, what are these new attacks, and then you can put in a holistic framework, right? Ignoring GenAI is just putting your head in the sand and thinking it doesn't impact me, I don't have to worry about it. That is a major mistake. You cannot ignore it. So this was like the brief introduction about this whole course, right? And like I said, generative AI is a major game changer when it comes to technology. It allows us to create so much new content. It has revolutionized things, but it has also introduced new attacks, new risks, and especially it has changed how social engineering is done. So apart from that, I also have a small project for you in this course. I don't want you to just listen to me talking for like 2 hours or something and then forget everything the next day. Please don't do that. Actually use the concepts I've explained to you, and then try to create a Gen AI security awareness program for your company using the concepts I'm going to tell you in this course. So that would be your project for this course. And like I said, the disclaimer I gave at the very start, please, I'm not promoting any technology here. No company is paying me. I'm not promoting any product. These are concepts which I'm going to be teaching you. I'm going to talk about technical solutions, right? But I'm not endorsing that particular company. I don't want you to think I'm endorsing any company. The concepts are more important than the solutions, right? The security, like the products and the solutions. So that pretty much covers the introduction. I hope you are as excited as I am to start on this journey of GenAI social engineering. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next lesson. We're gonna do an introduction first of generative AI before we go into all the things about social engineering. Thank you very much, and I'll see you there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this module. And in this lesson, this is like a short introduction to generative AI in case you need a good framework. If you're already well aware of what generative AI is, you don't need like a quick review. Please feel free to skip this lesson. But I always recommend having a good overview first before we dive deep into the types of attacks because it gives you a good baseline to understand, right? So, what is generative AI? So, generative AI is like a type of, is a subset of artificial intelligence, and it is designed to generate and create new content. And that content can be images, It can be text, music, or even videos. And unlike traditional AI, that is like usually trained to recognize or classify existing data, generative AI, it can produce new content, new original content using the data that it's trained on, right? So like I said, this can be text, images, music, audio, and it's based on what it's learned. And of course, remember that it can still make errors, and that's like one of the biggest things I'm going to keep focusing on. A lot of people start thinking that generative AI is flawless; it cannot make any mistakes. That is a major mistake to make. And that's this is like a high level overview of what generative AI is, right? It uses AI to understand it, like it gets trained on a lot of data. This can be audio, text, video, images, right? So what it does is understands the underlying patterns and structures that are present in this data, and it using statistical distribution, it starts, okay, what does this data look like? And then once it's trained, you can prompt it, and what happens is using this data, it's able to generate new content, and that's what this is where the magic happens. So like ChatGPT, you don't really care about what's at the behind, right? It's being used to generate new types of data, new types of content, and this can be audio, video, images. All these things can be done, and this is what has been like such a major game changer when it comes to generative AI, right? And what has been the impact? Productivity has gone through the roof, right? You could like people could write like 800 to 1000 words articles suddenly just by through a simple prompt. They could generate images, they could generate video, audio. And unfortunately, what has happened because of this, what has happened is jobs losses have happened, right? And but new jobs have also been created because of generative AI. So it has been a very disruptive force within the industry. Like if you've been in programming, you've been so you must have seen those news that AI will now take over coding, although I don't believe that. I don't believe no AI can replace a proper good human developer. But this disruption is very much there, right? And of course the security and risk implications, which we're going to talk about. And huge amounts of automation is happening. Generative AI is that completely, it's like changed the landscape when it comes to technology. So keep all these things in mind when we go over this. And what are the popular use cases? I've talked about this before. You can prompt it and it can generate text. And the most simplest example of this is, of course, ChatGPT. Images, generative AI models can generate new images that resemble their training data, right? They can generate realistic faces, landscapes, abstract art. If you use Mid Journey, what else? Video. They can compose new video, new audio, code. If you've used these co-pilots, right? If you use Amazon Code Whisperer, Q Developer, you can literally write a prompt. It will generate extremely accurate code for you. And I've used it myself. I was pretty surprised by this. And lastly, and this is something which is still being developed, but tasks, right? Autonomous AI, which is AI right now, it's just being prompting, right? In the sense that you prompt it and then it gives you an output. But now with tasks, you can prompt it and it will actually start doing stuff for you. It won't just generate data which you can look at. It'll actually start, you can, if you tell it to write me an email and send it, and generate a graph based on this, it's going to do all of these things to the power of APIs. And this is something which is still being developed. It's still new, but this is the next breakthrough which is going to happen. But right now, the generative AI, which is really changing the landscape, it is text, image, video, code, audio, all these things. These are the ones, and this is where social engineering is also focusing on. And these are even the from the Gartner's perspective, what it says about generative AI. If you look at the category one on the right, at the second paragraph, the second bullet, right? By 2027, the productivity value of AI will be recognized as a primary economic indicator of national power because of the widespread gains in workforce productivity. Gen AI is going to have the impact of Gen AI, which you can see across the world, companies, organizations, governments, they're trying to harness it. It's going to actually directly contribute to the economic stability of a country. That is how powerful generative AI is. So again, like I said, this is not something you can just ignore and think it doesn't it doesn't matter to what I am doing. I have nothing to do with this, right? So this was a quick overview of generative AI. Like we said, generative AI is used for creating new content. It's a subset of AI that is becoming more and more popular with each passing day. You have text, audio, video, code, tasks, and it has negative and positive impacts, which you're going to look at shortly. I hope this was now you have a good idea of generative AI. Now in the next section, we've had a good revision of generative AI. Now we're going to do a quick overview of what social engineering is before we go into how these two things are colliding, how generative AI and social engineering is colliding to create a new threat landscape. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next lesson.